What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. I'm going to allow YouTube to send that notification out. Once you enter the broadcast by show of ones, y'all can hear and see me. It seems that in America, survival mode has been activated. What's going on, everybody joining? Hello. I see Joe in the building, Shakira. Shireen is in the house. Servant of Ahaya is in the building. Honey Blonde's in the building. Joe. Dennis York, salute. I'm glad y'all catching another broadcast. When you look at what's going on in America right now, I want you all to understand that everything you see is part of biblical prophecy. And I also want you to understand that it's nothing new under the sun. See, the same way ancient Rome fell, ancient Babylon, ancient Assyria, and all these so-called great kingdoms, that happens to be the same fate for America. And I know that's a tough pill to digest. And some people hear that message and find hopelessness in that. But I'm here to tell you that it has been prophesied and predicted that God's chosen people, elected people, would escape their captivity with great substance. Meaning, as you see this system collapse and fall, there will be a transfer of wealth and power to God's real people, his chosen and elected. But right now, a lot of us are being tried like gold through the furnace. A lot of people are struggling to make ends meet. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of those people no longer have a paycheck. See, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump just made it illegal to be homeless. That's right. While simultaneously cutting jobs. So what's happening right now? The world powers, they practice elitism. The so-called world powers believe in ethnic purging, and they believe in discarding the poor. And that's a recipe for disaster. And every great kingdom that disregarded the poor and the widows, great calamity and judgment came to that place. And if what's happening in the world right now is not getting your attention, that you got to move different, that you got to get away from people that you can't trust during desperate times, then I don't know what will wake you up. See, you got to be careful who you're around right now. You got to be careful who you call your friends. You got to be careful of those who really don't have your best interests at heart, because desperate times calls for desperate measures. And this keg known as America is about to implode. And it has also been prophesied biblically that everybody would start to gravitate towards their own land or their own tribe. It's about that time where a lot of brothers and sisters really discover where they belong. Because survival mode is being initiated in America. And this is not something that's coming. No, it's something that's here. See, regardless of how things may look, what's really happening is this so-called great nation is being judged. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this, right? The reason why the food stamps have been cut, or SNAP benefits and WIC has been cut, is because of Donald Trump. He brung in something called the Big Beautiful Bill, where he made these cuts. Now, over here on this platform, as soon as that bill was released to the public, I already told you it wasn't going to be beneficial to the poor at all. And that turned out to be absolutely true. But there was other clause within that contract that a lot of people are not paying attention to. And I just want to briefly point some of those things out. Because to be informed is to be ahead of the game, right? So let me start off by saying this. He did something in that bill called the Homeless Relocation Plan. And I have no idea where the homeless are supposed to be relocated to. Something has been happening, and I believe it's something nefarious, where we don't know where these people are going, but we do know it's illegal to be homeless. We don't know where they're being detained. We do know that there was a Fox News analyst or a correspondent that said that homeless people should get legal injections, lethal injections. And he kept a job. So I want you to understand the type of spirit, the evil spirit that these individuals had. You had your president, Donald Trump, just last week, said that he's not going to heaven. The closest place to heaven he's going to get is his Air Force One airplane, traveling from one place to the next. And that should tell you who these so-called Christian nationalists really work for. And it's the devil. They're not the real Christians. They're not really following Christ. So what you got to understand is the Bible says many shall come in his name and shall deceive many. And so you got these people claiming to be with Christ, but they're bigots, suspected white supremacists, just complete savages, if you ask me, posing to be people of Christ. And they're putting America in survival mode. That's who's putting America in survival mode. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I already said this before, these streets is going to get wild out here. People who are ahead of the curve, y'all going to move accordingly. People who can see, people who are really paying attention and linked in and plugged in, y'all gonna move accordingly. Let me see. Let's read some of these comments here. Shalom. From Failure to Fighter says, shalom. Much love, respect, safety, strength, freedom, wisdom, abundance, happiness, peace, and blessings to the family. Look, we accept all of that. We accept all that. Yeah, with all that's going on, you know, God's people are going to win. See, look, the survival mode is not only for the poor and needy. Hear me out. See, when I talk about America being on survival mode, I'm not just talking about those who are struggling to make ends meet. Some of you all know what it's like to struggle. Some of y'all been through the gauntlet. Some of y'all know how to make $1 out of nothing. Some of y'all know how to survive. Oh, I'm not talking about survival mode just for the people who've been through it and going through it. No. See these witches, warlocks, gang stalkers, perpetrators, these, you know, dirty politicians, these people who in political seats, these people who in power, these people who have the power to change the situation, those cowards who remain silent when certain laws and bills are being put on the books, but they don't want to speak up. Those cowards who've been intimidated by the whole, you know, the whole white supremacist movement that's going on in America. Look, I'm gonna tell you, they're in survival mode too. They're in survival mode too. And guess what? They shaking in their boots. See, the Most High about to slam the hammer on these people. And they're gonna have no choice but to be humbled through it all. See, we already been humbled. We've already been battle tested and approved. Most High is gonna start moving us in our rightful position. We getting tried right now, but we gonna survive. Why? Because we got that faith. We got that faith. So when I talk about being on survival mode, I'm not just talking about for the have-nots and those who lost SNAP benefits and those who lost WIC and those who may be struggling to get a job or just lost a job. No. That's a microcosm of what's to come for those people who didn't put us in these positions. Yeah. Let me see. Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. That's right. Not everybody claiming to be of the Most High gonna enter. Y'all gotta look out for these so-called Christian nationalists. You gotta look out for these so-called followers of Christ. Now, the real followers of Christ are going to keep God's law, statutes, commandments, and judgments. The real followers of Christ acknowledge Christ as the scriptures have been written, not no false idol. The real followers of Christ going to serve the Christ that has hair of wool and skin of burnished bronze. So look, don't get it twisted, y'all. Let me see. Somebody says sometimes the best thing for us to do to rise is to go back to baseline. I'm praying daily, doing a carnivore diet, chickpeas. That's what's up. I'm glad you're doing that, man. I Am Black Madonna says, are not even Christians not religious at all? Yep. I mean, they're not following no avenues of truth at all. They're just white supremacists. So that they are. Charlotte Davis says it's time for people to wake up and draw close to God and be about the Lord's business. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a time of repentance. It's a time to really be careful who you spending your time around, as well as who is it can you rely on? Because America's setting the stage for a purge. That's what's happening. And you know what? This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. You know, we got a lot of job cuts due to this government shutdown. The government been shut down for how long now? 23 days? Government been shut down for 23 days. And with that being said, a lot of people lost federal contracts. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people are going without right now, and they're on survival mode, trying to figure out how they're gonna get from 1 month to the next, right? But meanwhile, the AI, oh man, when I tell y'all AI I've been doing my research. Real soon I'm gonna be going in depth even more about this AI, what is actually happening. A lot of people are not paying attention. This AI is gonna wipe out so many jobs. I mean, the list of jobs that's gonna be taken out by the AI alone. If you don't see how real it's about to get, that you gotta really understand human relations and having connections with people and being locked in with like-minded people. If you don't see it, then you ain't gonna see it. You gotta do something the AI can't do. You have to be looking for avenues that are AI proof. And when it comes to real human relations, that's what you want to get involved in. That's what you want to get involved in. Because when I tell you, the reason why Trump put out $500 billion to AI when he first got elected, the reason he did that is because he wants a complete new type of industrial revolution. Not like it was back in the day. No, this would be the fourth economic revolution, and it will be something completely different where a lot of people gonna lose jobs and a lot of people gonna be looking for answers. But like I told y'all, if people interested in what direction to go while all this is happening, you already know, hit me up, Nubreed 404. I am in human relations. And, of course, congratulations to all my new business partners. You know exactly who you are. Some of y'all are in the chat. And tonight I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in our Zoom meeting. But, you know how to reach me, Nubreed 404 on IG. I'm telling you, one thing that the Most High blessed me with is foresight. And it is so very important to get linked in with like-minded people, but be prepared to put in some work and establish something that you can call your own outside of these conglomerates, outside of these organizations. Y'all know I don't do no material and talk about the problems without bringing solutions. This ain't one of those fear-mongering channels. This ain't one of those channels that's just gonna talk about what's gonna happen, but ain't proactive. One thing y'all people who know about me, I got land initiatives going on because I talk about the food shortages coming. Agricultural projects going on because I know these things are coming. So this is a person that you're talking to that's about action. So look, people best be paying attention, because, and once I get in detail about that AI, y'all gonna see. And they're doing this right before what? The holiday season. And y'all know what the holiday season bring out of people. A lot of these fake Christians out here about to be celebrating Halloween in a few days. Notice I said fake Christians, because I'm a real follower of Christ, and you all who watch, a lot of you all real followers of Christ. But a lot of them gonna be celebrating these pagan holidays. It's gonna be a lot of crash outs. Around the holiday season, self-deletion numbers go up. Homicides go up. And they doing this while people don't have no food to put on the table. While people on survival mode, it ain't no dry turkey or that dry swine on the table. It's not gonna look too good. It ain't gonna look too good. Yeah, no food, no jobs, no Christmas trees. And I don't celebrate those pagan satanic holidays anyway. But for those who do, they're gonna be in a real conundrum this year. They're gonna be in a real conundrum this year. Let me see. Somebody says, you've been preparing us since the pandemic. Facts. Everything is unfolding in real time. Exactly. Ever since the pandemic, we've been having these conversations. You know, we have been in warlike, we have been in a warlike era ever since 2020. And those who got that 2020 vision, you see it. We have been in a warlike posture. Y'all remember it. No groceries in the grocery store, food lines filling up, no toilet paper, 6 feet apart. Oh, they were setting the stage for something. There was a metaphysical shift that took place in 2020. 2020 was an awakening. And now there is also an awakening going on right now. Right after Charlie Kirk got hit, there was another awakening. And one thing about it, people who really can see what's going on, that the awakening that's taking place is action oriented. See, the awakening that's taking place right now, people are coming in ready to do something about the situation they're in. At least God's people are ready to get proactive. They're ready to work and do something about their situation. And that's who the Most High is working with. You know, people not sitting around, people who can really see not sitting around with their arms folded, trying to watch a sermon and just observe and not really get active out here, not really have no motion. The Bible says the kingdom is not granted by observation alone. And that's why I'm so grateful that in my network of people already know what time it is. They see it just like I see it. They see the AI taking over. They see the jobs getting cut. And some of you all, y'all on the job, y'all job might not have got cut, but you miserable there. And life is too short to be miserable your whole life. And if you are miserable there, there's other options. There's other options. There's things out here that you can do. Yep. Somebody says government borrowed 30 billion from agricultural folks. Then they gave us a stimulus, then raised the cost of food. So the farmers got paid back 100 times. Yeah. Yeah, they're imploding on purpose. And then they did a mass deportation and had ICE out there. And you had all the farmers afraid to show up to work because they didn't want to get snatched up and thrown in a shipping container. The people who till your soil in your country are afraid to go farm because they don't want to get packed up and shipped out. Genesis 6:5, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Yup, and that's what's happening now. That's why most of America's in survival mode. Because absolute power corrupts. And there was a lot of people who was granted such power in this system that all they know is conquer and destroy. That's all they know. Yeah, the Most High definitely didn't give us the spirit of fear, but the power of a sound mind. That's for sure. You know, there's a lot of people that hear what's going on, and if they get afraid, then that means that they're not willing to do what it takes to actually maintain and survive. You got to think about that. It's so many people that cover their ears and don't want to hear the truth. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you're afraid of the truth, that means you don't plan on doing nothing about the information that's presented. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to stay away from them type of people. Some of you all got friends and family. Y'all trying to tell them, look what's going on. Hey, you trying to tell your friends and family, let's put something together. Yeah, if you scared, go to the Christian Nationalist Church if you scared. Yeah, if you scared, go right up and go to church with Erica Kirk and them. Yeah, go have Sunday service with them. And hope they don't lynch you right after the service is over. But if you on point and you see what's going on, you got to know the power of adaptability. See, a righteous person going to know, what does the Bible says? A prudent man foreseeth the evil and removeth himself. A prudent man, someone who is on point, they gonna see what's going on and they gonna move accordingly. That's all I tell people. Look, don't waste your time with those folks that you gotta tell what's going on and they look at you like you crazy. They should be able to see that. They should be able to see what's about to come in America. They should be able to see what's going on worldwide. They should be able to see that the mark of the beast system is being implemented and rolled out. But if they can't see and you tell them and all you get is hatred, revert back to them scriptures where it says, have I therefore become your enemy? Because I tell you the truth. Y'all have no idea how many enemies some of y'all got just because you told them the truth. Just because you said, look, let's put some money together. You talking to family, friends, people close to you. Hey, we gotta start a business together. We gotta do something because whatever's going on in this system is not looking too good. We gotta figure something out as a family, as a friend group, as a network. How many of y'all speak like that and all you get is negativity? You know why you get negativity? You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because they're selfish. That's why. You live in a dog-eat-dog capitalistic society. So what that says is, no, you're my competition. Why would I want to come together with you to do anything when I'm competing with you? Matter of fact, I'm not just competing with you. I'm competing with everybody to make sure I make it and my family make it. But to hell with you, family, friends, network, what are you talking about? When this all goes down, I'm trying to survive. That's people's mentality. Why the hell would you want people like that around you and you living in the last days? Make that make sense. I surely don't want no demonic, selfish, envious, jealous, conniving individuals like that around me. I want people around me who want to get it together. Because when it comes to people being on survival mode and they get desperate, you got to look out. That's not good people you want to be around. And I'm going to say this too, just so that I'm perfectly clear. You in a time now where you got to stop crying over spilled milk. I don't know who this message is for, but hear me out. Your family might not support you. Your immediate friends might not support you. Get over it. You got to get over that. The scriptures already predicted this. The scriptures already prophesied this. If they're not supportive of you, what did the scriptures say? A prophet won't be respected in his hometown. Christ himself had to move abroad to network with people who was like-minded. Know what I'm saying? If they're not bigger picture thinkers, if they're not seeing what's going on, then you just gonna have to do what you gotta do. All right, they're not supporting you. Do what you gotta do to find those people who really rocking with you, who really believe in you. Some of y'all get caught up. Y'all get caught up. You know, you might post something on Instagram. Everybody around you that you thought was loyal and supportive of you, they may be watching what you got going on, but they not supporting it. Either they don't like you, they don't believe in you, or they just don't care. Simple as that. And a lot of the times it's number three. They just don't care because they worried about themselves. They're not thinking about what? The relationship. Because the relationship doesn't mean much. But you got to get over that. And y'all got to get them likes up if this message is resonating with y'all. Y'all know how they like to do it with my platform. It's a lot of games that get played because they know I'm speaking some truth that's going to change some lives. And they know it's action behind the words. Brothers and sisters, when we come together, it's a whole movement. There's a whole Nubreed global network going on. This ain't just, we just get on here talking. No, we networking. Yeah, people on survival mode right now, big time. And then you got some people who just gonna sell out. They're gonna take the mark of the beast. They for sale. You know, we hashtag not for sale on this side. You got some people that's just gonna take the mark. Geraldo, thank you for the support, says understand the times. That's right. Let me see, he says, my church is real. Marco said a couple weeks ago, if you aren't feeling persecuted like Christ these days, I question how much you're actually walking with Christ. Yeah, you know, a lot of us have dealt with the persecution and are still enduring. We all got our cross to carry. Let me see here. Somebody says, if they don't support me, I won't support them. See, that's how you gotta move. That's just how you gotta move. And that sun is shining brightly, even through the shades. Somebody says knowledge of self and life after death. Right, but you know what? We trying to live. Somebody said everything you saying is going on in my personal life, home and work, to a degree, and I know others feel it. Then those who just not aware whatsoever and don't care to know. Right. You know, it's a lot of people walking dead right now. It's a lot of people who just refuse to see, or they completely refuse to acknowledge what's going on, so they're going to stay stagnant. But ladies and gentlemen, you got to be those people who act accordingly to what's going on. You know, don't be afraid to take chances. Don't get stuck in no comfort zone, because when you get stagnant, you can end up in survival mode yourself. And if you're in survival mode right now, you can get out of that. But you got to have an open mind. You got to have an open mind and be willing to be used by the Creator. Anyway, man, I ain't going to talk too much longer on this. Of course, I got more material. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notification bell on so you can get these videos as they being uploaded. Again, If you want to network and become part of a strong team that's really about building and getting to it, making moves and having motion out here, reach me at Nubreed 404 on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And we can discuss some things behind the scenes. But nonetheless, y'all be blessed out there. More material coming. Peace.